Okay, are we on? Looks like it. Um, I'm just setting up the stream from my phone feature. Making sure, making sure that that's all working. Okay, good. Now, we are in the latest build of Nexus, and I already noticed something in the form of I can't hear anything, right? Well, not that I can't hear anything, it's that I can't hear. Because you can hear the sound effects, but I can't hear music. And if you look at this, right, the sound is actually that the sound effects are what are off, and the music is what's supposed to be on. So maybe if I put this up, besides your voice, there's no sound. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think right, the sound effects appear to be working, but for whatever reason, our music isn't on. That's a weird one to me. Let's see if it changes when I change screens. Like for example, if I were to enter a battle screen, I wonder if that would trigger the music to start. I'm just gonna, just as a test, right? Just as a test, let's see if that turns the music on. Okay, so that turned the music on. That turned the music on. So I'm gonna note that down. That and if I go back to the main menu, and now the music in the main menu is working. Okay, so the music in the main menu just was not working until I entered the battle screen, and I will mark that as like almost instantly. The music in the main menu did not work until I entered the battle screen, and that's like 0:30. Here's what we'll set that time code as. Okay, well, let's see if some of the smaller things are done. Yo, Gearjun, what's poppin', man? How you doing? Now, I had asked for something to be put in, and I don't think that it was, which is a different screen to sort of inform people about like Patreon and Kickstarter when that is all set up. And it doesn't look like that's been added in, so I'm going to take that from the chat with the developer and just put it over here. Which actually makes me worry about some of the other stuff that was asked for. That wasn't directly put in a Google Doc. Okay, so we copy that message. We put this over here. Okay. That is thing 2 checked. Now we can check the things that are actually on the list. Let's see here. So let's start from the bottom. To be honest, I kind of just want to play some games. It's nearly 5 a.m. for me, and I've been up since 10 a.m. yesterday, and I'm going to down some caffeine to hopefully reset my sleep. That is an awfully familiar place to be. I hope the strategy works. I hope you're able to see it through. Because the worst thing is when you make it so far and then you fall asleep on accident and then you have to reset again. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's test Selenis, right? So the first thing that's supposed to be tested is Selenis' ability to place a counter when he... Did I not sleep again? No, I had a great night's sleep. I could not function anymore last night. I would have kept on working, but I practically passed out. It was completely involuntary. I didn't mean to. And yeah, I'm so glad that I did because I feel so refreshed. We'll put Selenis on, and now I can't hear the sound effects. What about now? Yeah, no, there's just issues with sound now, it looks like. What? What if I put this all the way up to the max? No, I can't hear any sound effects. So I'm going to mark that as like 5. Now no sound effects at all. And let's start over. All right. Quit. Let's do that again. Right, but if I'm here, okay, now I can faintly hear sound effects. Is it because the music is too loud? Yeah, I can hear them more clearly now. But yeah, we just need to look at sound. That's not the biggest thing in the world. That doesn't stop the game from working. So I'm not peeved or anything. It's just we do need it fixed. Okay, so what I wanted to test initially was Selenis and the placement of forest guard counters in a situation where I've run out of time. So, and now I can hear the sound effects again. Oh my, yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, because now I can hear them loud and clear. Let's go 1, 2. Let's go 1, 2. And we end there. And we end over here as well. Yeah. It kept fluctuating between sound and no sound. All right, so let us end the declaration phase and get started. We go tutelage. Love the updated VFX for tutelage. And you know what? I actually kind of like these streams where I don't have a webcam. This doesn't work. I can't test the thing I wanted to test. The thing I wanted to test can only be tested in a situation where my opponent is activating a rune. Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll test something else. All right, Nature's Forge. Hephaestus creates a... Wait, no. Hephaestus creates a counter from nothing. No, Nature's Forge creates a counter from nothing. Okay, got it. Oh, 1 second. I have to mute myself real quick. Okay, so this section of testing just won't have any audio because I need to be on mute for a little bit. I'm still here. I'm still testing, but I will just be muted as I do it for a little bit. And we just need the counter to reach 0 anyway. Okay, so what I just tested worked perfectly. So in a situation where the player has completely run out of time on their effect timer, and the game is wrapping up, so at wave end here, Selenis is just going to remove all of the counters automatically. I don't get a choice, right? Because I'm fully out of time. And when I'm out of time, if I need to play, oh, hold on, I need to mute again. Okay, so that the thing that I just checked is the lag that happens when you open the game, and there still is some, right? I'm gonna mark that at 14. Page still freezes when opening the game. Oh, thank you. All right. So let's see here. What else do we need to look at? So that's not fixed, unfortunately. Changing of phases seems fine. We're gonna take that off. So we need to check when Forest Wall causes Selenis to place his counter. So cards are supposed to Selenis is supposed to place a counter when an effect is activated, not when it resolves. So even though it's a confusing series of events, we need to have a system wherein Selenis pulls up. Hold on, let me set the stage. We need Wall. We'll take Incinerate. We'll take you. We want 2 other cards. Honestly, I'm loving this whole thing of having Goblin Forge in the opening hand, because it's like, oh hey, you have another source of counters early on, and I just feel like that's really cool. We'll set you in the Assault on my opponent's screen. Okay, so we end over here, the wave begins. Don't activate Leap. We will activate Tutelage. Don't chain Leap. Don't chain anything else. Okay, so movement phase 1 rolls around, as it should. End of movement phase 1, we activate Nature's Forge. We may as well activate Danger Bee so it stops asking us. We can activate Forest Guard Startup. Startup on Selenis. Selenis will place a counter on, Nature's Forge has already been activated, but sure. We will Incinerate. Yeah, we actually have everything we need. We don't need to Incinerate here. Now, when Torsion attacks into Goblin Forge, Forest Wall will get the prompt to activate. When I push this button to activate Forest Wall before anything else happens... Okay, so first thing I've noticed, Forest Wall... What? Wait, what just happened? Oh, Forest Wall is... Forest Wall... it activated properly. Selenis just didn't place a counter at all. If I activate this, will Selenis place his counter? Let's say I Incinerate you, for example. And Selenis places a counter like normal. Okay, so... the problem here is just Forest Wall. Forest Wall did not allow him to activate the effect properly. So at 17... So there's 2 things. 1, Forest Wall does not flip face up when used. Forest Wall does not flip face up when used, and it still did not show It still did not allow Selenis to place a counter. And we will remove all forest counters. It still allows a counter upon its activation. It actually did not place a counter at all this time. Okay, so we will leave this here, and we will yeah, I'll know that those two go together. Okay, all right, next thing to test is, let's see what else we've got here. Actually, wall again, so let's start over. Let us start over. Okay. Let's just do a test on Wall and Selenis together. End on both sides. Activate tutelage. Actually, tutelage is completely... Oh, wait, no, we do need tutelage in this situation. And we will force guard startup immediately because that is something we can do for this test. That way we don't have to keep on watching and stopping between the transition of phases. Now, we need to see an enlarged version of Forest Wall when it activates, and an enlarged version of Forest Wall when it resolves. So let's check to see if that is working. So if I say destroy, Forest Wall activates to save him. Activation, good. Okay, and it is enlarging to resolve. Beautiful. Wait, did it flip face up there? I think it did. Oh, now I have to go back and check. I have to go back and check that. Because I saw the enlarged version. I saw the smaller version. How do I check this? Right? Oh, I can just go back in the stream. Okay, beautiful. So, Forest Wall, Battle Phase 2, End Phase. Okay, I selected to activate it. And it did flip face up when it was this. Okay, so I'll put that in the notes. That time code is about 21, right? About 21. 21. It did flip face up when protecting Selenis from destruction via his own effect. Now I'm curious, right? Let's see if it places a forest counter when it's protecting Selenis from destruction, right? Maybe they fixed it for battle purposes. Sorry, they fixed it for effect destruction purposes, but it's not fixed for battle purposes, right? I can see that being the case. Let's narrow it down, right? So this time we do the exact same thing, except we put another card on the field. We get Wall, we get Startup, and we begin, right? Let's go through the motions. End. We start. We go tutelage. We'll just activate everything all at once. Nature's Forge and Forest Guard Startup onto Selenis. Right? If there was a way to get Wall back, to recycle Wall, you could do some crazy things with Selenis. Okay, movement phase 1, he moves up. Battle phase 1, nothing happens. Movement phase 2, nothing happens. Battle phase 2, nothing happens because there's no one on the field to fight. And then we roll around to wave end. Okay, so destroy Selenis. Forest Wall activates. A counter should automatically be placed. And it happened before resolution. So it's working when it's before resolution. So 23 minutes in. So 23 minutes in. It also works to place a counter before counter upon activation when protecting from his own effect. So it's only battle that it doesn't work for. Interesting. I want to do one more test. One more test of that. But I'm pretty sure we've gotten to the bottom of it. Right? I'm pretty sure we've gotten to the bottom of it. Right? So this time, we'll put, the only thing we'll change, we'll put a third card on the field. Wall, startup, end, and let's see if it gives us the full menu this time, right? I'm just being awfully thorough here. We'll go Danger Beast, we'll go startup, and let's see if we can go Hephaestus here. Force counter on you. Beautiful Hephaestus. Put a counter on Selenis. So that's another way to get counters on Selenis, which is awesome, before tutelage is even active, right? Okay, tutelage rolls around. God, I think you do need to just... Because this setup for turn 1 is crazy, right? This is a great turn 1 setup. It's just, if your opponent is particularly aggressive, it makes it very difficult to feel safe, right? I don't know if I would advise this as a turn 1 strategy unless there's a rune that sort of ties it all together. Let's see here. Sure, we can attack. Swing at 200. Deal some damage. Wave end rolls around. Destroy Selenis. Forest Wall. Do we get a menu? Yes, okay, it works, it works, it works, it works, it works. It works exactly the way it should for Selenis' late game, late turn effect. It's only when it's used earlier in the turn that it does not work. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so the next thing to test, this is something that I don't know if I'd be able to replicate, which is in the last build, there were a bunch of effects that were activating when they shouldn't have.
Alright, so this guy's defense.
So if I just play this real quick.
This will go up to 200 permanently. Love to see it. Place a forest counter on, I guess, Pixie. Completely irrelevant, right? Yo, Axel, what's good?
So I'm trying to see what could have caused that.
She will only activate if she's got enough counters on her to...
Yeah, I don't really know what caused this specific issue, and it's a difficult thing to try and test and replicate. Basically, a bunch of effects that shouldn't have been activatable all were in the middle of a game. Let me put the music back up. Quit. Right? A bunch of effects that should have been activatable weren't. Sorry, that should not have been activatable were, because certain effects can't activate in the battle phase. So we're gonna remove that from the chopping block, and I think what it really just needs is some like intense testing. The next thing I want to test is the guild chat functionality. Why is there a notification? So Luxus joined the guild. Okay, so let's see this, right? Let's see this. Is this working now? Send. Okay, when you send a message, it does refresh, right? I think whenever someone sends a message, the whole thing refreshes. No, I'm still on the other phone. The only messages I can see are mine. Right? I just opened up the guild chat on my other phone, and I can't see the messages that were just sent. Okay, I refreshed it and now it's working. Test again on my other phone. Send. Yeah, I just sent a message on my other phone and it's not coming through. Right? If I leave and come back, I suppose it will come through. Yeah, it's that. So it's, yeah, no, I would still say that this is still not working. Because no one's gonna leave and come back and then leave and come back and then leave and come back every single time they want to read a message. So 29 guild chat still not working. I could swear it was working before, where you could just send messages and it was updating in real time, so that you could chat effectively, right? Beginning to enter a room and then leaving again causes the game to break. Let's see if that is fixed. So if I push enter and then I push enter over here and I start pushing cancel. Okay, it didn't break my game, but it broke my opponent's. It let me out, and my opponent still went into the game, which their only option now is to surrender. So if they're in a situation where there's ranked points on the line, they would take an automatic loss. We can't have that fly. This I'm gonna mark that as still not working then. Our time code is 30. The player was allowed to leave, but their opponent still went into the game. What else is on here? That's something that I can't replicate. My opponent did not give a prompt to activate Wukong staff. That's also something that I can't replicate. So I think all of these other things just need to be tested in gameplay scenarios, right? So we need to generally test Wukong. We need to generally test Ryu with freeze. To be honest, okay, that means I sort of have to play this out like an actual game, right? The things to test here are Ryu working properly after being frozen, which I don't even think I have the freeze rune in either of these hands actually, so no, I can't test that. So what I want to test here is, how do I do this? My opponent ran out of time when using Zodiac Barrier. Okay, so I'm going to change my opponent's deck. Zodiac Barrier is in hand. What else needs to be in hand? Journey's End needs to be in hand. Incinerate doesn't need to be in hand. Let's put Freeze in hand as well. And we go Wandering subset. Let's check the runes. Put Journey's End in the opponent hand. Put remove Exorcism and put Freeze in the opponent hand. So we want the generics now. So Freeze goes in hand, Incinerate in resource, and Cleanse in resource. Alright, so this should allow... Oh, I should probably also put Wukong in the starting hand, killing multiple birds with a single stone and whatnot. Let's see over here. Wukong, take you out of resource. We'll take Hui out of resource because he doesn't need to be tested right now. Focus our search on Wandering. Put Hui in resource and put Wukong in hand. Okay. That should be all good to test now. Right? So funny enough, it's actually my opponent's hand that's more important than mine right now. So, when using Zodiac Barrier, my opponent ran out of time, and that caused the game to break. So we are going to do that again on my opponent's screen. Right? Where we will have him play this, play this, play this. We need him to have Zodiac Barrier on and Journey's End. Let's just test everything all at once, actually. And over here, I guess I'll just build a regular looking board then. Opponent's defense zone. We'll put this over here. And we'll put Selenis over here. We'll do this. We'll do this. And we'll put up a wall for protection. Okay, a lot of things to keep track of. It's difficult to play a full game against yourself just because there's so many effects to keep track of. But the very first thing to check on is, why can't I use any of Ryu's effects? Where's Ryu? Ryu is in the counter zone. He should be able to Dragon Dance here. Why don't I have the option? Okay, we are going to Venom Pulse on our opponent's side of things, just for the heck of it. Don't really need that effect. Over here we activate Tutelage. Okay, so that is an error. That is an error because now my opponent has the ability to activate Kirin, which they should have had all along, really. We'll activate Nature's Forge, and we will freeze ourselves, actually. So let's just imagine our opponent misplays, they freeze themselves, and don't chain anything. Now, I need to note that down, that at 35 minutes in, 5 did not have the option to activate Ryu's effects. I don't know if that's a Ryu specific problem or if that's something else, right? Nature's Forge gets us a counter. Kirin activates, but he will be frozen there. Tutelage is active now as well. Venom Pulse on to the Wukong. Movement phase 1. Perfect. Ryu stays right where he is. Now, nothing activates here. When I swing here, I should get the option on my opponent's screen to activate Monkey King. Why have we paused? Why have we frozen? Is this a full-on freeze or just an extended pause? Nope, looks like a full-on freeze. Okay, so Wukong staff still isn't working. Right? What's our time code? Time code is 36. Time code is 36. Wukong staff still did not work. 36. Wukong staff did not work. The game froze when he was supposed to declare an attack right before he should have had the option to activate it. Okay, alright, so as a result of that freeze, that's the only thing we can really test. But we can say definitively that Wukong staff does not work as intended. Let's see here. Well, now it makes me unconfident in everything, right? Let's quit. That makes me sort of unconfident in everything. So we will test Journey's End next, and we will test. We'll test what we can, right? because that definitely doesn't work. Oh, we opened a room at the exact same time. Okay, so Journey's End this time. Let's see what happens when we try and use it. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, doesn't really matter. End. I forgot to play Journey's End. No, it very much does matter. I'm a little dumb. Okay, that is unfortunate. Let's try that again. Take it from the top. Try that again. Take it from the top. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna have some Maltesers. Okay. What was that? What was what? A lot of things happened. I don't know what specific thing you mean. Oh, I have to mute myself real quick. Okay, so Zodiac Barrier still breaking the game. let's put the time code at 43. I saw some text saying Forest gain attack on the menu screen before you started the match. Oh, that's the name of my deck. Forest Guard attack, right? That's just the name that I chose for my deck. But thank you for keeping an eye out. And yeah, the game is completely frozen. So let's put the time code at 42. To my opponent running out of time while activating barrier still broke the game. What else? It didn't look like Journey's End caused any desync. Right, we're seeing the exact same things in terms of Tuertion's placement, and he moved after that, so he was fine until afterwards. Now it's about testing Quickened with Freeze. Quickened with Freeze and testing Encore. Okay, got it. I don't think we can do both of those things at the same time, but we'll try anyway. Okay. Oops. Okay, so my opponent would need to summon Ryu. We'll put Ryu in the defense. Put the freeze rune on. And put you in assault. And how many counters does Encore need? 1, which means we can Hephaestus for this. And let's have one other card on the field. Okay. And an end. Nature's Forge first up. Kirin second. And no other effects will be activated at this stage. So we let that chain end. Nature's Forge activates. And everything is right with the world. Now, don't activate Danger Beast. If our opponent chooses to activate the Freeze Rune, they can discard a card. And let's say they freeze Ryu. That's the first thing that we'll do. Don't chain anything. Now, Encore can't be activated because Freeze wasn't in the graveyard yet. Encore can't be activated here either because, well, there's nothing to Encore. Danger Beast can't be used because there's no more runes on the field, but Encore can by removing the 1 counter that we have. And that's why Goblin Forge is being targeted. We Encore, and there's only 1 target for Encore, which is the Freeze Rune. And Encore froze the game. Yeah, I heard the sound effect of me getting the rune, but it did not appear on the field. So Encore still isn't fixed. Let's put that at... Our time code is 47. 47. Encore did not place the rune on the field, even though the sound effect played. The game then froze. Okay, so that means that I can't do the Ryu test that I wanted to do, but it confirms that Encore still has an issue. So we will test Quickened last, and that will be all of the notes from the last build. I wish the Luxus was up so we could do some testing, but that's okay. Or rather, so we could run some sets, but that's okay because we found a sufficient amount of errors here. So the only things that need to happen are on my opponent's screen. He summons Ryu, I messed up. How did I mess up? Oh, my days. Okay. Let's try that again. Let's take that from the top. I don't know how I do so poorly in low pressure situations. Sorry, I can't help you play this cabinet. It's all good. No worries. Right? I mean, hopefully within a couple months that's no longer the case. And it's a lot more free for anyone who wants to play Zodiac Barrier. I put down the wrong card. I needed freeze. Okay. So, end. All right. Now, we end again. I Kieran here. Do not chain freeze. Rush to the assault zone. Get frozen on this turn. Discard any random card. Ryu is the only card on the field, so he's the only card who can be targeted. He goes through. We're frozen, so Ryu doesn't get the option to attack because he's stuck. And then the turn should end. The rune that I put on the field goes to the graveyard because it will go unused. So in the end phase, it gets revealed and sent away. Beautiful. Turn number 2. Now, if I just end here, with Ryu being quickened, with Ryu having been frozen previously, does he still work properly if he becomes quickened? We Kieran. It resolves. He goes back to the assault zone. And he should move at double speed during the movement phase to get to us. Beautiful. Does he attack properly? He does, and I didn't get the option because I shouldn't have. Yep, it looks like he's working the way he should. Alright. We'll take that off. It leaves us with a good chunk of things that still need work, but a good chunk that are taken off as well. Alright, I'm going to wrap up there. Put together these notes for the Pakistan team really quick. And head on out. So, thank you for hanging out in this 50-minute stream. I know it was relatively short. If we had some gameplay in here, we probably would have gone for another hour, but that's okay. I will catch you guys in a bit. And yeah, wish me luck. Stay safe, you guys. Plus up. Jojo, stay